video is going to show how to make a keychain in SketchUp using millimeter measurements. So once you've logged into SketchUp, we're going to have to create a new file format. So if you look on your home screen, once you've logged in, next to the create new, there's an arrow. So your SketchUp defaults to architectural feet and inches. We need to come down here and make sure we select decimal millimeters. This is going to allow us to work in the millimeter scale, which is what our 3D printers use. So this way we can make sure it's a direct print and less setup for me from your model to the printer than if I have to scale it and try all that. So we're going to go decimal millimeter. So click on that. You're going to start a blank template here. If you get the blue banner, you can close that. I always get that out of the way. We do need to get rid of Ty. He's going to be too big for our model. So we got to click on him once and hit the backspace and delete. Now we're ready to start our file. Before we do that, we are going to name the file so it's there in case we need it. So we're going to click on this untitled. If it asks you to purge, always purge all. You'll click on the folder here. And then when you name the file, you're going to name it your first and last name and then keychain. So it'll be your first name, your last name, and then keychain as the title. Your first and last name and keychain. Then you'll save it. So it'll say saving. And once it's saved, it'll be your first and last name and keychain over here. We are ready to start. So we're going to show you multiple shapes. We're going to make multiple shapes, and you're going to pick the one you want to use and go with that. So we're going to start with our rectangle tool, which is the R key. And we're going to come right here to the origin. Now it's going to look really tiny once you enter this in, so we'll zoom extents in. So you're going to click once and let go of the mouse, drag it out this way. Our rectangle is going to be 75 millimeters by 20 millimeters. So we're just going to type 75. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see it, 75, comma 20. So 75, comma 20, and hit enter. And you see it basically disappeared. So we're going to do our zoom extents, which is Control-Shift-E. And we're going to zoom right in on that rectangle. So this is 75 by 20. That's what we want to have. So we're going to first make our rectangle one. It's a little easier. Once we have the base, we have to start doing some layout for the hole for the ring, for the keychain ring. So for that, we're going to use our tape measure tool, which is the T key. We're going to click on this edge. We're going to click once and let go. And we should have our guideline here. If it doesn't show the guideline, you should be able to tap the control key, maybe get that going. What we're going to do is find the midpoint on this edge. So it should be showing in the lower right-hand corner and on there at 10 millimeters. So we're going to click once. And we need to set the distance in for the hole. So we're going to click on the end once, bring it in, and we're going to make that 7 mils. So you're going to type 7, enter, and we're going to have a mark at 7 millimeters. So this should be 10 millimeters in, 7 millimeters back. Next is we're going to do the circle, to make a circle for the opening. So we're going to make it flat, so when we pull this up to the right thickness, the hole's already there. So we're going to use our circle tool, which is C, and we're going to put our cursor right here on this intersection. So it shows intersection. Now here's the trick. When you use the circle tool and you enter the size, you enter the radius. So half the circle. We want a 4 millimeter circle, so we're going to do a 2 millimeter radius. So what we're going to do is click once on the intersection and just move your cursor out along the line. And you type 2 for 2 millimeters and enter. And now we have a 4 millimeter hole. Now we need to, 1, hit the space bar so that we have our select tool back, and we're going to save this real quick just so we don't get too far out. Once that's saved, we're going to come back here and click on the inside of the circle and make sure that's highlighted. We're going to delete it. Notice I single clicked. I didn't double click. I single clicked. I want to delete that out so that is empty. And then I'm going to just erase those guidelines and go back to my select tool with the space bar. So now we have this. We need to make this the correct thickness. So this base layer, if you looked at the examples, it has the base thickness and then there's the text and stuff on top. So this base layer is going to be 2 millimeters. So we use a P key for our push-pull tool. You highlight that, you're going to click once and let go of the mouse button. Push forward on your mouse to bring it up We're going to type in 2 for 2 millimeters and enter. And now we have a 2 millimeter thick base. And then you're going to save to make sure we have that. Go back to our select key for a second. Now what we need to do is we're going to put the border on this. We're not going to raise it up yet, but we're going to put the border on here. So for that, we're going to use the offset tool, which is the F key. So you hit F and you highlight this top edge. You're going to click once and then move your mouse toward the middle. And again, this is 2 millimeters. So type 2 and enter, and it's going to give us a border. So once we got that space key, we're going to save that. We're going to pause here. I'm going to show you how to make the rounded keychain, and then we're going to show you how to add the text. So adding the text works the same on both. Uh, then once we get the text on, then we'll raise up the walls around the side of it. So that's our square one, rectangular one. We're going to come right over next to it, and we're going to make our rounded. So we start the exact same way with the rectangle tool or the R key. You're going to click once, bring it out this way. It's going to be the same dimensions, 75. So type 75, comma 20. So look in that lower right-hand corner dimension, 75, comma 20. Hit enter. So we'll get the same rectangle. Our first couple steps are going to be the same. Take our tape measure tool with the T key. Click once on that edge, bring it into the midpoint. Just like we did that halfway at 10, we're going to click on this edge and come back 7 mils. So hit type 7, enter. We're also going to come down to this end and type 7, enter for 7 millimeters. We are going to still do the hole up here, the opening. So we're going to come up here with our circle tool with the C key. We're going to click once on the intersection and let go of the mouse. Come up on the guide, type in 2 for the radius of 2 millimeters. And then we're going to click on the circle and delete it with the select key. Now, do not erase those guidelines yet. We need those. So real quick, save. What we're going to do to put the arc and the curved ends is our arc tool, which is the A key. So just tap the A key. What we're going to do is utilize these intersections of the dotted lines and the edge. So you're going to click once on this intersection. I'm going to click once on this intersection. And you're going to bring your cursor right to the intersection of the edge and that, and you're going to click one more time. And that gives us this nice end here. So we're going to come down to this end and do the exact same thing. A key, click once on this intersection, click once on this intersection, and then click once on this intersection. Once we've got that done, save. Then we're going to use our eraser tool. We're going to be very careful, only erase these 2 lines here, these 2 lines here, erase the guideline, and the guideline. And coming down here, erase these 2 lines, erase these 2 lines, erase the guideline, and save. Now we're going to push-pull this up the 2 millimeters. So P key for push-pull. Click and release the button, push forward, and type 2, enter for the 2 millimeters. And then we're going to offset this 2 millimeters again. So F key for the offset. Click once, bring it in, and type 2, enter. And then save this. So now we have a square one and a rounded one. Now you have to make the choice a little bit, kind of which one you want to do. You can also do a combination where one end is rounded. If you do the one end rounded, one end square, make the whole end the rounded one so it moves a little easier throughout the ring, the key ring. Once you've got that, you're going to pick which one you want to use and what text you want it to say. It could be your name, it could be something about school. It needs to be school appropriate, though. Just saying. So we'll test it out on this round one here. I'll show you this text works the same way. So what you're going to do is go to the bottom left corner here to your tool palette extension. We're going to come over here to the 3D text. So you click on that and you're going to get this bubble. First thing you got to do in this pop-up is put out what you actually wanted to say. So I'm going to say STEM rocks just because. Make sure I spell it right. All right. Now, I will tell you this Architect's Daughter font, you can choose your fonts, doesn't work the greatest. Any of the really skinny fonts don't work very well because the printer can only print so small. So something like Concert One works because it's nice and big there. Oswald works well. Permanent Marker works okay. Prompt works okay. Robato's, oh, it's okay. But I'm gonna go with Oswald for this one. Now, the height, that is how tall, like if you're looking at the letters. So our opening in between, if you look outside, that's only 16 millimeters. So we want to have a little bit of space. So for the height, you're going to double click on that, change it to 12 millimeters. So 12 millimeters. And the extrusion, which is how tall it is when it prints, that's going to be 2 millimeters. So put your wording, pick your font, and you can choose bold. That also sometimes helps to make it a little bit thicker. Some of those letters, it depending on your font, can also make it really hard to see. Then height is 12 millimeters, extrusion is 2 millimeters. Once you've got that, you're going to click OK. Now it's going to bring your words here, and they're going to be a little bit bigger than your piece. That's okay. But what you want to do is make sure you lock them down to the face. So I'm going to go right on the end point of this line on my offset to make sure that that group of letters is on the face. Then what we want to do is center it kind of front to back here, left to right. So we're going to hit the move tool. We're going to grab that endpoint and center it, and it'll usually give you an on face 2 millimeters right next to my cursor there. So I'm going to click and lock that in place and go back to my select key. So I could bump this back here just a little bit if I wanted to, move it a little closer to the end. I don't want to go where it's going to run into the wall, but there we go. So you see it still sticks out past the end here. That's okay. What I'm going to do first, before I move anything, is save it so my text is there. Now, to make that go back, we're going to have to use the scale tool, which is not on your shortcut sheet. But we want to look at this end here, and we're going to hit the S key. So the S key for scale. Now, if you click any of the top or bottom ones, it's going to make it taller or shorter. We don't want to do that. We just want to make it fit on the piece. So if we've got the height set at 12 when you made it, it's locked in there. So what we're going to do is take this center one on the end. I'm going to click once on that and then just move it in. Now, see, it kind of scrunches it up a little bit, but it makes it fit. So depending on what you have, depending on what font you have, it can scrunch it a little bit. And I've got it just a couple of millimeters in past that so that I don't break the letters off with the key ring. So once I've got that on there where I want it to fit, so it's about 2 mils on top and bottom, you're in a little bit from the end there, you're clearing the hole for the things. You're just going to go space key and then click off of that. What we're going to do then is come here and we are going to go back to this base. We're going to select the outline. You can do this on the round or the square, whichever one shape you want to do. So then we're going to do the push pull key. We're going to click once and we're going to push it forward and type in 2 millimeters. So 2, enter, so that it is the same height as the letters. And once you have that, hit save. So this is what it's going to look like when you print it. It's going to have the hole. It's going to have the raised edge that helps protect the letters that are on there. Have a solid back to it. Okay, so again, it could be like that. It could be on the rectangle. You'll do the same thing. Once you get the text, it'd be up 2 millimeters. You'd have your font in there. Okay. So what you're going to do then is when you have this, what you're going to do is click on the base. You're going to triple click so that all of the base is selected. And you're going to right click with your mouse and say make group so that that base is all one piece. It has to be one piece for the 3D printing to work. And while that's there on the select tool, you got that selected. You're going to hold the shift key down so we get the plus minus, and then you're going to click on the letters. They were already a group. So once they're both selected, you're going to right click and make that a group. So now when you click on it, the whole thing lights up. All right. Save that. And then what you're gonna do is once you've got figured out which one you're doing in your words, you're gonna take the other pieces. You can either triple click or you can just drag and select the box around them. Those need to get the yeetus, deletus, and go bye-bye. So delete those out. Then you want to take this one and move it toward the origin here like that. Once you've got that so that the only keychain that's on there is the one you're gonna print, you're gonna save that one more time. Once you have that done, I'm going to show you a video later on. You've got another video that shows how to change the file type and download it properly and send it to me so that I can 3D print them. But that's what you should have is one final keychain, either total rectangle, the round, or a combination of both with the correct dimensions and your words on there in one big group. All righty, that's what we got. Good luck. Keep going back to the video if you need help. Have fun.